Things are changing, and they are changing fast. If you're an earth angel, a starseed, a light worker, or a highly spiritual being of any kind, you're probably feeling it really intensely right now. Energy is shifting, the earth is ascending, and the universe is bringing you right along for the ride. If you're experiencing depression, anxiety, or intense, overwhelming feelings, and you can't otherwise identify where they're coming from, there is a very good chance it is from this shift in energy. And it is your soul calling you for something more. My name is Sarah Dawn, and I'm making videos for highly sensitive spiritual beings who are likely to experience things like depression and anxiety and neurodiversities along their life's path and as part of their soul's mission. And it's my mission to help you understand yourself, your life path, and the power you have to live a fulfilling and joyful life as your authentic self. So what am I talking about with all of this shifting and changing? I'm talking about how the earth is currently going through an ascension. This is an ascension from 3D to 5D consciousness, and it's also known as New Earth. Right now, this ascension is happening. We're still mostly in the 3D, but we can access the fifth dimension now. And as we do, we'll also begin to ascend as spiritual beings, and you will be awakened to this new consciousness. The choice is yours which way you want to go with all this. You, me, and everyone, we all have free will to choose. So will you ascend, or will you choose the path of least resistance and stay put? The choice, either one you make, will not be as easy as it sounds once this whole process gets started. So let's talk a bit more about that, what these dimensions are and how they may affect you, especially if you're a highly sensitive spiritual being with a special mission. The fifth dimension is a high vibrational state of consciousness. It's where we experience life through our souls or through our higher self rather than through the ego. It's a reality of expanded consciousness, awareness, and understanding. In comparison, we've been moving out of the third dimension, which is the physical world that we all know so well, right? The third dimension has space and time, and it's all very linear. It's basically what you can experience at the moment, what you see, hear, taste, smell, what you can feel. That is what is real, and that is the 3D. When we ascend into expanded consciousness, or when we're in the fifth dimension, we leave the ego and all of its material and physical needs behind. So this is living from the heart with a very open heart center. You're energetically and vibrationally closer to your guides. Your gifts are enhanced and you experience inner peace and all kinds of good things because it is a soul level consciousness. But in the 3D where we currently are, depression and anxiety are painful experiences. In the 5D, coming from the perspective of love, connectedness, allowance, surrender, and seeing it all from the perspective of your higher self, these things are much easier to manage, deal with, and perhaps most importantly, to understand. And in my experience, seeing them for what they are from this higher perspective actually brings a sense of joy, if you can believe it or not. Just knowing and seeing how things unfold in the way that they're meant to, being played out exactly the way your soul always wanted them to, it makes you feel good. Even if your physical brain can't quite comprehend it, the feeling is there. This actually creates a sense of joy even while you're experiencing something you normally perceive as very negative and painful. I mean, don't get me wrong. Dark nights, spiritual awakenings, all of this can certainly be very painful and difficult experiences. A lot of the time, I'm not minimizing any of these experiences, but there is a peace in knowing without a doubt that it is for a higher purpose. So what you're going through is in fact serving your highest good. And that is what the fifth dimension helps you see and understand. So to be clear, this ascension into the new earth is consciousness. The fifth dimension is a level of consciousness that we can actually achieve while in the physical body. It's not like we're saying that the physical earth is going to split into two or something. Rather, what we're talking about are the levels of consciousness that people exist within. And it's basically like it'll be different realities or different realms. They're just different dimensions. As I said, there are lots of good things and lots of good feelings in the fifth dimension because we go through an ego death in order to be there. So things like fear, worry, doubt, hate, and those low vibrational states don't exist in 5D. In the fifth dimension, it's love, joy, peace, contentment, understanding, connection, allowance, surrender, and so on. So basically, 3D is a consciousness of unhealthy ego and separation, whereas 5D is a consciousness of spirit and connectedness. Just imagine how much that will change any experience you have of depression or of anxiety or mental illnesses of any kind or neurodiversities or even trauma, abuse, all the grief and loss that you've experienced over your lifetime. Imagine how different they will be for you in 5D consciousness. By the way, all of those things that I just mentioned, depression, anxiety, mental illness, neurodiversity, even grief and loss, are not low vibrational experiences. They are experiences of growth and authenticity, which, if understood and experienced correctly, will actually raise your vibrations. If you're interested in learning more about all of that, be sure to subscribe because I have several videos on that topic coming up soon. So what's really important to know here is that the path to ascension is not easy. It has challenges and struggles, and it will continue to have all of that after you reach 5D consciousness because it is all about growth, learning, evolving, enlightenment, and reaching your highest potential. You will perceive and experience all of them differently the more your consciousness expands, but without them, your progress would stop. And ascension is never ending, right? There's always more you can learn, higher on the ladder that you can go, and you can never be too close to God. However, something interesting about all of this is that staying in the 3D will actually appear to be the easier path to take because you won't have to face these struggles and these challenges. There won't be the same obstacles, and there won't be all the dark nights and shadow work to do. As New Earth separates into this higher vibrational state, the 3D is going to do the opposite, and it will fall. It will descend into a reality of despair, chaos, and corruption. And there's a good chance that everyone will end up being depressed and anxious and just not happy in this reality. And it's already happening. Have you noticed how many terrible things are going on right now here on Earth over the last several years especially? How do we seem to be moving backward and thinking our freedom and our rights are being removed? Wars are breaking out. Hunger is at an all-time high everywhere. When we should be evolving and progressing, so much of the world just seems to be regressing. And I avoid the news. I avoid such negativity because it really starts to get to me. And even I can't help but be bombarded by all of these things, these terrible things happening all around us on a daily basis. And this is a sign showing us that the Earth's ascension has already begun. This 3D descension, it's already started as more of us are being called and doing the work to ascend into the fifth dimension, the more the 3D is descending into a state of chaos, separation, fear, and mistrust. So, like I said before, which path you take is a choice because of our free will. However, if you are someone who is experiencing depression or anxiety, and especially if you already have or suspect that you have a mental illness or neurodiversity or anything along those lines. And in addition, you are finding things from the past, like regrets or parts of yourself you don't like, fears that were created years ago through crises or trauma. If anything like that is coming up for you, there is a very good chance that you are being called to work on yourself now for a higher purpose. And that is why things are so intense. You're being called to do the inner work now so you can awaken and ascend into the 5D and go on to accomplish your soul's mission. And if any of this is resonating with you, you probably need to consider that you are likely a spiritual being with a special mission along with your spiritual journey, such as a starseed or an earth angel. Starseeds are incarnated souls from other planets that have long been at this consciousness or higher. They've experienced this for a while, so their souls have actually come here to Earth to spend a lifetime incarnated here to help the Earth and its inhabitants and people through this one. Earth angels, similar to starseeds, have also reached a much higher level of ascension in their spiritual development, and they are particularly qualified and are here to work with the angels to help raise the vibration of the Earth. For all of us highly sensitive spiritual beings, there is a lot that you should know that will help make this path you are on a little bit easier. And I'll talk about all of that in future videos, so keep coming back. And if you want to learn more about Earth Angels, be sure to check the links down below to my blog in the description below. There is even a quiz if you're interested in that to see if you are an Earth Angel. And as you go through all of this, you're gonna want to stay connected to your guides. As your vibration rises, you will experience more synchronicities like angel numbers to help you with all of this. So I've included a link also in the description below to my books. A magical course in angel numbers actually goes beyond angel numbers and will help you hear and understand your guides on a whole new level. Also, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe as usual, and consider joining me over on Facebook and Instagram, where I post things like daily angel messages to help you along your path. As always, I am sending a ton of love and blessings to you all. May your path be as amazing as you are. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye.